So, the LPGA Tour had Caitlin Clark play. And the LPGA, fans, well, the event was taken over by the ominous crowd. It was taken over by the ominous crowd of, they, I can't believe the other players didn't fear for their lives, to be honest. But, obviously not. The LPGA, you can see when it came to them that they were happy that Caitlin Clark was there. They knew exactly the value that Caitlin Clark brought to the whole event. They saw how important it was that new fans were getting involved in golf, especially women's golf, and they saw how big it was. So shout out to Correlation here. I'm just going to go through some clips again. I've done it in another video, but I'm going to focus more on the way they reacted to her, because we know in the WNBA, when it came to Caitlin Clark, it was a lot of we don't need you, and we were good before, and we don't like your fans, and this, that, and everything. Just absolutely anything that could have that they could have done, they did. They did everything they could to sabotage their own league. And yeah, it backfired. For me anyway, I think it's hard to argue that it didn't completely backfire for them, because Caitlin Clark is more popular than ever. The players that didn't try to play victim the whole year became more popular than ever, as in obviously Caitlin herself, but Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Kate Martin, Lexi Hull, Fee Collier. Even by the end of the year, Diana Taurasi, when people realized, okay, yeah, Diana Taurasi's not this Caitlin Clark hater, her kind of popularity increased. The likes of Sophie Cunningham became more popular. The likes of Kelsey Mitchell, Erica Wheeler. But then, obviously, you had the players that made sure to go get angry at everything Caitlin Clark did and everything Caitlin Clark does and was ever going to do, and made it that she was the problem and not the solution. That obviously never really worked out great now, did it? But, yeah, so we have got here Nelly Korda talking about playing with Caitlin Clark.
With the Caitlin Clark, just tell us about the experience.
It was so amazing. She's so sweet, so nice. It was nice to kind of get to spend some time with her. We've messaged a little on Instagram beforehand, but to get to spend some time with her and to see the influence that she has on people, bringing people out here, and to see how amazing of an influence she is just for sports was really cool to see firsthand today.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and open it up. Whoever wants to start here. Sarah?
So you two hug and, exchange golf balls and things. What's the coolest part of today for you, and maybe hopefully for her too?
Honestly, just chit-chatting about life kind of on the golf.
But yeah, you can see even Nelly Korda. By the way, Nelly Korda is the best golf player. That's probably as many fans as she has ever had watching her golf. Probably not. But an awful lot of fans. I was about to say, it's women's golf is still relatively big. She's definitely had more fans, but there were still an awful lot of fans. She had a hell of a lot. And she's not going to be why aren't you normally there? The fans that are here. Well, you're only here for Caitlin. Well, if you don't come back, we don't want you. It's where were you before? Where were you before? None of that stuff. They were oh my God, we've got these crowds because of her. This is great. This is great,
everything.
Yeah, she's, it was great to see how relaxed she was. Obviously, with the media attention that she has gotten probably in the past year and a half, 2 years, you can see how she's comfortable playing in front of a larger crowd. And she was just really enjoying it. You can tell, she's definitely very talented. She was picking the ball really clean. She was losing a couple of shots to the right, but I asked her how many times a week she plays, and with, I think, the amount of obligations that she has, she probably gets to the golf course once a week, and to just play once a week, she was playing really well.
And then, obviously, talking about Caitlin Clark getting her to watching basketball.
What do you hope comes from today?
At the end of the day, it's just great for the women's sports. I love that she has a love for the game of golf. And me, like, I've never really tuned into watching basketball before her, honestly. So I think it's just growing the interest in all of women's sports, and I hope that's what grows from this relationship.
Did she get you tuning in?
So yeah, obviously that's a big thing. What she is for growing women's sports. And then see here, Caitlin says beyond basketball, obviously for workout, our goal is to reach into the playoffs. Like, it is what it is. But I think some of the biggest things is you're seeing all the crowd and Yahoo Sports with all the pictures on her turf. Again, early morning crowds for Caitlin at the Pro-Am. They're calling her a larger than life figure, and the amount of things she's signing, and they're talking about how great it is. Like, imagine a sport not having, for lack of a better word, a victim complex. And like, I hate to say this because as a league it does. As a league, the WNBA did. I mean, you see almost everything about the LPGA. Everyone watches women's sports. Talking about the crowd for this. And then, especially when you're smart enough to actually put coverage in the event does not refer to 28 minutes, no live interviews. Yeah, we've actually got one person complaining, ironically. We've got one person complaining about it. To be fair, it was not meant to be covered, and the craziness of it was the only reason it was covered. But you can see here, not every day you get to see Hall of Famer teeing it up. So, like, the whole thing was obviously realistically about them. But you can see how much the LPGA were trying to hype up this event, because it was as watching an event probably an LPGA has had in a long time. Like, you've got the jersey exchange between Caitlin Clark and Nelly Korda. You've got We Couldn't Agree More. Sports unites people. That's what today is, bringing people together. They can find joy in something. LPGA, We Couldn't Agree More. Like, so the LPGA, and this is what like the problem is, and the funniest part is that this is what Caitlin Clark wants to do. This is what Stephanie White has vocally wanted to do. This is what the Fever have wanted to do. It's everything we've got when it comes to the WNBA, the growth of women's sports, is positive. It's all a good thing to have. Like, all of this growth is positive. So why are we not talking about how great this sport is uniting people? You look at a Fever game and there's kids, there's parents, there's people of all genders, ages, races, and you're seeing all this and you're like, they're just here to watch sports. This is great. But the WNBA wants to focus on the online Twitter trolls and how bad that is. Whereas you can see what happens with another league. When I think this is any other sport, whether it's the freaking league itself, whether it's the NBA itself, whether it's realistically college ball. College ball is the same. Whether it's soccer and all these. If this was happening with any other sport where there was a like mass increase in viewership, especially for women's sports, which historically has been lower down the pecking order, and now suddenly Caitlin Clark has more viewers than the NBA games, they'd be talking about how positive that is. And then also the fact that the finals was so highly watched this year. And a lot of it was fans staying, which is a testament to how positive it was. And I think the fact was the Lynx and the Liberty, who were two teams that new fans liked. And that helped everything. And you can see with other leagues realizing just how important this can be for their sport. And yeah, like, these fans are probably not going to be going to every single event. But these fans might become fans of Nelly Korda. They might become fans of certain players. They might become fans of different aspects of the sport. And that's how you can keep fans in long term. And the LPGA knows, just like every league knows that, except the WNBA for some reason. Every single league understands the value of a transcendent star like Caitlin Clark. Other than the league she plays in.